H.R. 2527, a bill to require the Secretary of the Treasury to mint coins in recognition and celebration of the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
We enjoy a day at the ballpark, eating hot dogs, Cracker Jacks.
My most favorite person ever to wear a baseball uniform.
Our nation's most favorite pastime. Coopersville.
The Cooperstown Hall of Fame baseball cap on my head, which I'm violating the rules of the House, so I have to take it off immediately.
The bill requires that the reverse side, sometimes referred to as the back side of each coin, is to be in the image of a baseball.
Mr. Speaker, the story of baseball is the story of America.
I guess I think that that's true in two ways. So one way is technological. Baseball's golden age basically coincided with the golden age of radio. It was for the first 40 or so years of its popularity broadcast on long-wave AM radio stations, beginning mostly in the 1920s and then extending through today. But it was really in the 1950s that television took over as the primary medium of broadcasting baseball.
America runs on Bulliver time.
And I think baseball was much more popular when it was a radio-only sport. And the explanations for that, people offer different ones, but some of them involve other sports rising, and their ability to present a better product for television, I think, is probably part of the story. So there's that sort of technological dimension. But I think also there's a way in which baseball tells a story of urbanization in the United States. So it used to be the case, even in the middle of the 20th century, that many, many more small towns had minor league baseball teams. The minor leagues were much more extensive. There were many more levels. It wasn't just AAA, AA, single A. It was all the way down to B, C, and D leagues. Very small towns had baseball teams that would regularly sell out their admittedly small stadiums. But as baseball became a much more mass media sport, and as small towns ceased to be sort of vibrant places for people to live, the minor league aspect of baseball disappeared a little bit, and it's mostly a larger town sport these days. There's some independent leagues and things like that, but they're nowhere near the scale of what they used to be.
In the early history of professional baseball, independent leagues did pose substantial threats to the baseball establishment, some reflecting the ideological battles being fought outside of the baseball world. The last significant challenge to organized baseball was the Federal League, whose brief existence in 1914 resulted in Major League Baseball's exemption from antitrust laws, a unique status which it enjoys to this day. As the federal judge and future baseball commissioner presiding over the case had said, a blow to baseball would be a blow to a national institution. Using its mythical appeal to maintain a degree of influence beyond the field, baseball had tied itself to the flag and was enlisted by politicians and government officials as a vehicle for patriotism and booster for military goals. With the rise of other sports in the United States, Major League Baseball has increasingly gone abroad to access new markets and labor pools. But for the domestic market, Major League Baseball continues to use its ties and historic weight in American society to maintain its claim as the national pastime. How does Major League Baseball reconcile its American identity with its global ambitions? Is baseball's globalization just a form of Americanization, making sure that growing worldwide networks of interdependence all lead back to its American epicenter? Mirroring the nation's unilateral approach to foreign policy, baseball was the first sport since the early 20th century to be voted out of the Olympics. In response to Major League Baseball's refusal to suspend 2 weeks of its season, the vote devastated national baseball programs whose funding was linked to Olympic competition, yet ensured Major League Baseball's dominance of the World Baseball Classic, whose first tournament was held in 2006.
I would view the World Baseball Classic on the one hand and the Olympics on the other as separate things, separate ways of going about proselytizing the sport. The Olympics are certainly an area where people can be exposed to sports they may not be familiar with. But I think the World Baseball Classic is more focused on people who are already baseball fans. And what the World Baseball Classic can do is increase knowledge of the degree to which baseball is already a global game, even among American baseball fans.
I really think that in the middle American mind, the typical baseball fan here in the lower 48 or the 50 states the Olympics doesn't have that much weight. Does it have much weight outside of the good old USA? Yeah, it does. Where will baseball go? I would think that baseball is such a great sport that we would probably see, and call me daring, but I would not be surprised if baseball jumps with 2 international divisions, one Pacific Rim, and somehow allied with our Northwest Corridor, and then also one traveling into Mexico and into Latin America.
Is that Americanization rather than globalization? I don't know, but I would view it as a positive development for sure. The part of the game that's 60 feet 6 inches, that's not going to change. But the anthem you sing before the game, you can sing whatever you want.